Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to my class. How are you? Namaste. So let's start the class with chanting prayers to Lord Ganesha, Devi Saraswati, and Devi Lakshmi. So fold your hands and chant with me. Om Ganeshaya Namaha Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavigno Pashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupani Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Namaste Astu Mahamaye Shri Pithe Surapujite Shankha Chakra Gadahaste Mahalakshmi Namostute. Very good. And now prayers to Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. Om Ramaya Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. And today I'm going to talk about Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, and their wives, Devi Saraswati, Devi Lakshmi, and Devi Parvati. She is also called Devi Durga. And I'm also going to tell you about cycle of creation. So Rani and Raj are planting a tomato seed. See, they got a tomato seed here, and then they are planting it. And you see, the seed will sprout. See, the seed is sprout. And then it will become a big plant. Right? See, it's becoming, and then there are flowers. And then it will flower, and finally it will produce lots of tomatoes. So from a tiny seed, you have a tomato bush with so many tomatoes. But you have to take good care of it, right? See, Raj is watering, and then Rani also, when the plant is big, she's watering so it doesn't get dried up. So plants need good soil and sunlight to grow. After some time, the plant will die, making new seeds, and then we can plant again next spring, and then it will again produce tomatoes. So the seed becomes plant, and then it becomes tomatoes, and then the tomatoes becomes new seeds, and then again. So this cycle of creation and destruction keep on going. The entire creation appears and disappears again and again. So Rani had a very good question. She's asked, how can a tiny seed know that it needs to grow into a tomato plant? Why not an apple tree? So see, these are the tomato seeds. And it will always grow up into a tomato plant and produce tomatoes. It will never grow up into an apple tree. So the question is, why not? How does this tiny seed knows that it has to produce tomatoes and not apples or oranges or bananas? So Rani had a very good question, and let me answer that. Very good question, Rani. As you have rules in your school and home, in the same way, things happen in this world according to certain laws. A tomato seed will only produce tomatoes. So those are there. As you have rules in school and home, the world also functions according to well-defined rules. So a tomato seed will produce tomatoes, a banana seed will produce bananas, apple seed will produce apples, cucumber seeds will produce cucumbers. They're not going to produce anything else. So we find that everything in the universe follows certain laws. The sun rises and sets at the appointed time, and so does the moon. The earth revolves around the sun in a given manner. A ball thrown up does not stay up, it comes down because there is a law of gravity. So Rani, can you stop the rain, stop the wind from blowing, or the snow from falling? No, because there are certain laws, and according to those laws, the universe or this world functions. Clear? All right. It all happens because of these laws, right? As I said before, everything in this world first manifests like the seed sprouted. Then it is sustained for some time, right? Like that the plant has to grow big, and then it has to produce flowers, and then it has to produce fruits. So the plant grows and produces tomatoes, and then it perishes to produce new seeds, and then it dies to produce new seeds. So Lord Brahma kind of represents creation, right? And Lord Vishnu represents sustenance. And Lord Shiva represents destruction. So these three laws represents creation, sustenance, and destruction. So Lord Brahma represents creation, and Lord Vishnu represents sustenance, and Lord Shiva represents destruction. These three gods are collectively known as the Trimurti. Tri means three, and Murti means Lord or the statues. So Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Lord Shiva is also has many names, and one of the names is Mahesh. So Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Lord Brahma is known as the creator of the universe and all the beings in it. So in order to create the world, you need to know knowledge, right? You need to know how to create the world. And knowledge is needed for creation and to set the laws for it. For this reason, the goddess of knowledge, Devi Saraswati is the wife of Lord Brahma and helps him in his task. So this is Lord Brahma who represents creation, and Devi Saraswati who represents knowledge, who is called the goddess of knowledge, is wife of Lord Brahma, and she helps out in setting up all the laws of the universe, so that a tomato seed will produce tomato, and the thing, if you throw up, it will fall down, and the water will boil at a certain temperature, and so on. Lord Vishnu, this is Lord Vishnu, is known as the preserver or sustainer of life. Like when the plant is growing, it helps the plant to sustain, with proper sunlight and watering, and then it helps the plant to produce flowers and then to produce fruits. So Lord Vishnu is known as the preserver or sustainer of life. Now, you need resources are needed for sustenance, right? So for the plant to grow healthy, you need it to water it, you need sunlight, and you need proper soil, you need fertilizer so that it grows strong and it produces nice and juicy tomatoes. So Devi Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, is the wife of Lord Vishnu, right? So she provides all the wealth and the resources for Lord Vishnu to sustain the universe. Lord Vishnu is also known for his principles of righteousness and truth. He wants in the world that all the law and order is maintained. Nobody should do wrong things, and if they do wrong things, they should be properly punished. So, he takes care of that. And so whenever these values are under threat, Lord Vishnu incarnates in various forms to restore peace and order. Lord Rama and Lord Krishna were two of these incarnations. So I said before that when Ravana, he was such an evil guy, and he was, doing havoc in the society, right? Like then Lord Rama came. So Lord Vishnu came as Lord Rama and killed Ravana, the evil, in order to maintain peace and order in the creation. And same way, when Kamsa and Duryodhana and all these evil peoples who were not following law and order, Lord Vishnu incarnate as Lord Krishna. So whenever there is peace under threat and our people are not following the laws, then Lord Vishnu takes a form and restores the peace in the creation. And Devi Lakshmi helps him out. Unlike Lord Brahma, the creator, or Lord Vishnu, the preserver, Lord Shiva brings the universe to an end. So the next cycle of creation can begin. It's the same for the tomato plant. When the tomatoes are all full bloom, are all there, then the plant perishes in order that the new tomatoes, new seeds are produced and new tomatoes are come on the tomato bush. So same way, Lord Shiva is responsible for the new cycle of creation can begin. So Lord Shiva is generally known in two distinct representations. He has two forms. Through the span of the life cycle on the universe, Lord Shiva is usually shown in a meditating pose. He's very peaceful as long as the creation goes on. Like, for example, in the tomato plant, as long as the tomato plant is flourishing and is producing flowers and this thing, Lord Shiva just sits in a silent, peaceful mode and just watches the universe. See? And Lord Shiva always has a snake around his neck. And then, he's meditating. And then he takes a form of a fearsome dancer when it comes time to end the current circle of creation and the new cycle to begin. So Lord Shiva has an extra eye on his forehead, in the middle of the forehead. And the universe is destroyed when he opens the third eye. What it means is that the plant perishes, tomato plant perishes in order to make seeds and have new plant. So Lord Shiva represents that when the plant perishes, so that, it gives room for the new seeds and the new tomato plants. So this is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is easy to please and not always careful about the boons he grants to those who worship him, right? If you pray to Lord Shiva and you ask for something, he easily listens to your prayers. So I'm going to tell you a very funny story. So Bhasmasur, he was a demon, was a very powerful demon. But he was an evil guy, and who prayed to Lord Shiva because he wanted something. So he went into a cave, and this is another Shivaling, this also represents Lord Shiva. And he stayed in a cave and he prayed to Lord Shiva. And he prayed for months and months without eating anything and in all kinds of weather. So Lord Shiva was pleased with his devotion. And he finally appeared before him. See, he appeared before him. This is Lord Shiva. And he said, I am very pleased with your prayers, so I will grant you a boon. You can ask me whatever you want. So Lord Shiva, decided to grant him a boon, to which Bhasmasur said. So let's see what Bhasmasur wanted. He said, Lord Shiva, please grant me the wish that whichever person I place my hand on is burnt to ashes. So he said, I want a boon that whoever's forehead I touch or I put my hand on, he burns and he becomes a leap of ashes. What a strange boon Bhasmasur asked of Lord Shiva. But anyway, that's what he wanted. And Lord Shiva said, Tathastu, so be it. He said, all right, I grant you that boon. So Lord Shiva granted him the boon, and Bhasmasur was very happy. He said, now I can, if I don't like anybody, I can just touch his or her head, and he or she will turn into a heap of ashes. So, having got the boon, the wicked Bhasmasur tried to test the boon on Lord Shiva. He said, okay, I'm going to turn Lord Shiva into a heap of ashes. So he chased Lord Shiva. See, he's running after Lord Shiva to put his hand on his Lord Shiva's forehead. And Lord Shiva started running to save himself. He said, oh, if he touches, because I have granted him that boon, and if he touches my head, I will turn into ashes. So I better run. And he started running. And Lord Vishnu was watching. You know, he saw such a strange sight. So he decided that he will help Lord Shiva. So Lord Vishnu decided to help Lord Shiva. So Lord Vishnu took a form of a beautiful lady. And this lady called herself Mohani. Mohani means the one who's very pretty and the one who people are fascinated by. So he took the form of a beautiful lady, Mohani, and stood before Bhasmasura, who was mesmerized by her beauty and forgot about chasing Shiva. So his all attention was now to Mohani, and he forgot about Lord Shiva. So he stared at her and said, who are you? Will you marry me? He said, who are you? I want to marry you. Will you marry me? Mohani replied, I am a dancer. See, her poses of all dancing pose. I am a dancer and have taken a vow that I will only marry the man who can dance as well as I can. So I want to marry a dancer. Bhasmasur had never danced in his life, but wanted to learn just to marry her. So Bhasmasur said, oh, I don't know dancing, but if you teach me, I will learn, and then I will be able to dance. Mohani said, do not worry. If you do not know dancing, I like you. No, I like you, and I will teach you, and then I will marry you once you become a dancer. So she said, just follow my steps exactly, and I will marry you. So she started teaching Bhasmasur all the dancing steps, like put your hand this way and put your feet this way and so on. And Bhasmasur, since he never knew dancing, he never danced before, he started, learning from Mohani, who actually was Lord Vishnu. So the two of them started to dance. See, they started to dance. Bhasmasur tried his best to copy Mohani's move as she smiled encouragingly at him. Like, she was, trying to be very nice to her, nice to him. And he got better and better at the dance. But Mohani had a plan. So Mohani then had a move where she kept her hand on her head. See? Mohani kept her hand on her head. And Bhasmasur, without thinking about the boon, Bhasmasur did the same. And he touched his forehead. And then what happened? As soon as he did that, he started yelling, oh no, I'm starting to burn. So he touched his head, and because of the boon, he is going to turn into ashes. So this is what Mohani had in mind. So one of the steps was to touch your head, and Bhasmasur, didn't even think about his boon, and he touched the head, and he turned into ashes. In a matter of seconds, Bhasmasur was reduced to a pile of ashes. Mohani was looking at the ashes, and then Lord Shiva appeared before her. And Mohani, who was Lord Vishnu, smiling, said to Lord Shiva, be careful before you grant boons to wicked people. these wicked people then misuse the boons. So be careful not to give these wicked people boons. That was a funny story, right? Okay. So Lord Shiva's consort or wife has 3 forms, depending on the role assigned to her, depending on what she does. So Lord Shiva's wife, one name is Parvati. So as Parvati, she is the goddess of love, beauty, harmony, marriage, children, and devotion. So you remember Lord Ganesha was the son of Lord Shiva and Devi Parvati. And this is his older brother, Kartikeya, right? He rode a peacock. Remember that story? So this is Parvati. So as Parvati, she's the goddess of love and beauty and harmony, marriage, children, devotion, and all the good things. So this is her one form, which is called Parvati. And the other form is called Durga, the goddess of power. She is the goddess of war, strength, and protection. So if anybody does bad things, then Devi Durga comes with all her weapons in her hand and destroys the evil person. I'm going to tell you a story of Devi Parvati as Durga in the next class, right? So look at all that she has, all these 8 hands, and in the 6 of the hands, she has all the weapons. Like she has a sword and she has a bow and arrow, and and then this hand is blessing, and this hand she holds a lotus flower, and she rides either a tiger, a ferocious tiger, or a lion, and this her vehicle represents power, strength. So she has a fierce form with 8 arms and hold all kinds of weapons, and she rides a tiger or lion. So we have seen 2 forms of the wife of Lord Shiva. One is Devi Parvati and one is Devi Durga. And then she has a 3rd form, which is called Kali. And this is the goddess of time and death and Shiva's force of destruction. So since here is she's holding a head of an evil guy. So again, she's like, Durga. So if anybody does harm, then she takes this fierce form and kills that body, right? Right? So now we know the 3 goddesses. Devi Saraswati. This is Devi Saraswati. This is the goddess of knowledge. And then Devi Lakshmi. This is the goddess of prosperity. And Devi goddess Parvati or Durga. This is in the form of Devi Durga. And these are called Trinity of goddesses, like the 3 goddesses. And they are the counterparts of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma. So you remember Lord Brahma is the creation. He represents creation. So Goddess Saraswati is of help to him. And then Lord Vishnu is the sustainer. So Devi Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, a goddess of wealth, is wife of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva is the destruction. She is responsible of the destruction. So for that you need all the power and the strength, and that is Devi Durga. So both male and female forms of God have equal importance, right? The male forms of God, like Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, are usually associated with strength and protection. and female forms represent wisdom, knowledge, wealth, healing, food, power, etc., which are represented by Devi Saraswati, Devi Lakshmi, and Devi Durga or Devi Parvati. Goddess Saraswati helps in the development of our mind, right? She's the goddess of knowledge. Goddess Lakshmi is responsible for our physical well-being, right? So that just like the tomato plant, so that it grows strong and it produces nice and juicy fruits. So she is responsible for the physical well-being and happiness. And Goddess Durga protects us from the evil forces. So when there is something bad happens, right, or people are not following law and order, then Devi Durga protects us. Gods cannot exist without goddesses, and goddesses cannot exist without gods. So both male and female form gods have equal importance, right? So the male forms like Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva are usually associated with strength and protection. And female forms like Goddess Saraswati, Devi Lakshmi, Devi Parvati represent wisdom, wealth, healing, food, power, etc. So once more, Goddess Saraswati helps us in the development of our mind. Goddess Lakshmi is responsible for our physical well-being and happiness. And Goddess Durga protects us from evil forces. So again, gods cannot exist without goddesses, and goddesses cannot exist without gods. So both male and female forms of God have equal importance. So now we are going to learn the prayers of Lord Vishnu. We already know prayer to Lord Lakshmi, and then we're going to, in the next class, we're going to learn a prayer of Lord Shiva and Lord Devi Parvati. So let's learn the prayer to Lord Vishnu. So I'm going to repeat word by word, and you repeat after me. Namas samasta bhutanam. Namas samasta bhutanam. Adibhutaya bhubhrate anekarupa rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Now just listen to me. Namasamasta bhutanam Adibhutaya bhubrate anekarupa rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Hear me one more time, and then we will chant together. Namasamasta bhutanam Adibhutaya bhubrate anekarupa rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. And now you chant with me, and slowly you will learn this prayer. Namasamasta bhutanam Adibhutaya bhubrate Aneka Rupa Rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. And the meaning of this prayer is salutations to Lord Vishnu. See, this is Lord Vishnu, who is the creator of all beings. The creator means the Lord Brahma, but he's the sustainer of the creation, whose form is all forms, right? And who is all pervasive and who is self-effulgent. So one more time, just listen to me. Namasamasta bhutana adibhutaya bhubrite aneka rupa rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Very good. And now we will chant the prayers which we always chant at the end of the class. And we will chant it together. Kale varshatu parjanyaha Prithvi sasya shalini Deshoyam shobharahitaha Brahmana santu nirbhayaha Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha Sarve santu niramayaha Sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Very good. Let there be peace, peace, peace everywhere. And now Rani and Raj will give you prasada. There is an error here. It should be a long line here. Rani. So there is a typo error here. Rani and Raj will give you prasada. This is a long line. So there, see, Rani has some nice laddus and she will give you. And we always accept the prasada gracefully as blessings from Lord Brahma and Devi Saraswati, Lord Vishnu and Devi Lakshmi, and Lord Shiva and Devi Parvati. So namaste, goodbye. We will see you again. Fir milenge. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Goodbye.